I'm still flabbergasted by this incredible film. Thank you and congratulations. It's so well crafted, so inspirational, so brave, and it's so transformational in so many ways. I mean, we talk about the alchemy of filmmaking and sometimes a tool for change and a tool for transformation. So I wanted to ask you all about how was this process of, not only the transformation that you were going through in your own lives, but having that documented in, for the film, and how that was part of the whole process that you were going through.
I'll let you start.
Many surprises. Sometimes we believe we have dealt with issues, and when I say we, I believe each and every one of you have something you need to deal with. So I found it very empowering. I was just very grateful to have my sisters with me, and then support from people that I least expected. It was just an amazing journey, and we're all on our own. So we've been doing these all day as far as speaking. So I'm kind of now starting to come down from it all, and to see what Brittany has showcased, accolades to her. She's just an amazing person, and I would not open up to just anyone, but when she came on scene, she made it right in my, from my point of view. So I thank Brittany so much.
Can I just say ditto and pass the mic? I will not pass the torch this time. Again, it has been an incredible, I'm not going to get emotional. It's been an incredible journey, and I thank Brittany so much. Serving the women that we serve, our women veterans through Grace After Fire, it is imperative that we are taking care of ourselves. So dealing with issues that we have suppressed, it was time. If I'm going to serve effectively, then I need to deal with my own. So once again, incredible journey. My family, which is all in the back. Thank you so much.
This was definitely an eye-opening journey for me, to be very vulnerable in front of a camera. You get to see other people's pain, and then you start working on yourself, and then you experience that pain, and it changes your perspective on it. And you said, you say to yourself, wow, I'm suffering as well, and it's okay. It's okay to ask for help. So it was definitely a journey for me in the process of healing and helping others. It helped me heal myself as well.
Brittany, you want to tell us a little bit? I mean, I'm so impressed that even you wrote that song, Heroin. It's incredible. I mean, you didn't sing it, right?
No, that was not me.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you got involved with this amazing woman and the members of their families and the journey in the film?
Yeah, so I've been making films about women, trying to tell stories about the experiences of women now for about 10 years. And I'm really interested in questions of empowerment. As things change, roles open up, different kinds of roles for women, different opportunities for women. I'm really interested in the types of choices women are making for themselves. And I'm interested in the obstacles that come in the way of those choices. And I had just made a film about the amateur pornography industry and the young girls that get sucked into that business. And I was really looking for something a little different about women, and the opportunity presented itself to make a film about women veterans. And I really didn't have to think about that for a second. I was really interested in, these are really strong, powerful women, but they've been through stuff. And somehow they're managing to move on. I had experienced my own trauma about 6 months maybe before I started making this film. And I really saw this as a way to learn from other people and see how these amazing, strong women were getting through it. And I really did learn a lot from them. And so I just want to thank all three of you for being so vulnerable with me and teaching me the lessons that you taught me. I feel like the lesson is that we all have a story to tell. And it's really easy to get focused on helping other people, which all of them do. Women in the military are really good at helping other people. what they're not always good at doing is looking inside themselves and admitting to themselves what they've been through, and then standing in front of other people and saying, this is me, this is my story. But there's some amazing stuff that happens when you say that to other people, you have them hear you and believe you and say, you've suffered, you're in pain, and your pain is justified. And I think that that's what, in different ways, all of these women sort of experience in different ways. And I think that's a really powerful lesson for survivors of all kinds of trauma, not just military sexual trauma, not just combat injuries, not just the other things that women in the military experience, but the kinds of things that every single one of us in this room, sooner or later, are going to experience some kind of trauma. So I hope that's what people take away from this movie.
And I've never even thought that I could experience so much emotion in a bodybuilding competition. I mean, that scene is just mind-blowing. It's so beautiful. And thank you so much for filming it, for doing it, for sharing it with us, you guys for being there, you for looking at her with those incredible eyes, you know. It's like, yeah.
It's not about me.
Tell us about you know, part of the film.
Yeah, you just saw a snippet of what it's like. For her, it was all about being on stage, and that's what she does it for. That's why it takes a lot of work, but she just loves performing, and it's great watching her transform. And we did this in Europe for a lot of years, and it was routine. We traveled, we did a lot together. It was when we got back here, I got a new job, the house. You saw all of that, my wonderful fish. So it was the dogs. It was kind of hard to jump back into that. So yeah, I seemed distant, huh? Yeah. No. But in any case, it's kind of hard to get out of the ruts you build around yourself. And so, but the focus really should be on these ladies. And thank you, Brittany, for really being professional and a great film. It was actually very hard to watch. It was good.
Well, let's get some questions from the audience, because I'm sure you're dying to ask things. Yes? No? Ooh. Yeah, right there. It's a question about movement in Congress.
Well, the movie was finished about 3 days ago, so so there's much to come with this movie. We're partnering with a lot of organizations who are doing that work. I'm not an expert on all the legislation. I know about a lot of it, but we hope that those organizations can use this film as a tool to really connect with people on an emotional level, to then make the case for the changes that need to be made.
But Lali, maybe you can talk to us a little bit about your experience of lobbying, for the cause up in Washington, surrounded by all those,
In terms of this documentary, nothing has really been announced to them. I know that they're very willing and eager and open to partnering. And the VFW has been very open here in New York City as well as in Washington, D.C. to help Ms. Huckabee move forward with the process and helping veterans out in the community nationwide.
Great. Any more? Yep, right here.
How was the editing process in kind of organizing this enormous amount of footage?
Yeah.
And then deciding on everything that you wanted to do, and then deciding on how you wanted to tell it. How was that?
Yeah, I mean, it was a process. There was probably, I think, about 180 hours of footage that was shot over the course of about 8 months. And so, I was looking for the same things that Hollywood fiction filmmakers are looking for. I'm looking for, what do these women want? And what are the obstacles in the way of them getting what they want? What are the conflicts? What are the turning points? And so as I was shooting, I was thinking about these things, but at the end of the process, I looked back at my footage and said, where are those elements in my footage? And I started to construct the film around that. And I will give a shout out to Ruth Somalo, who's in the back of the room, who was a consulting editor and helped me at the end of the process. And she was a great pair of fresh eyes, because, having shot a lot, most of this film, having been there from the very beginning, sometimes, you do have to step back and really take a look at what you have. But yeah, I mean, I think it's difficult because these women, they trusted me. That was a major, that was sacred as far as I was concerned. And so it was, every single edit I made, I thought about them. And I thought about that they were going to have to live with this film. They were going to have to talk to their colleagues and their families after they've seen this film. And so, I tried my best to get it right the first time before they even saw it, but I was terrified to show it to them. I mean, they were all saying, why haven't we seen the film yet? Why haven't we seen the film yet? But, I didn't want to show it to them until the absolute last minute, until I felt like I had it perfect. Because, you know, it was a big deal what they thought about the film.
What did you guys think when you first saw it? Were you like, you know, how was the first reaction? Is
For
it,
me,
is it what you thought that it was going to
Well,
be?
yeah, it was like an outer body experience. I fell in love with everyone, you know, that I was watching, and I couldn't believe I was watching that person that happened to be me. I was like, wow. So it was sort of like an outer body experience. And I think she captured, you know, the resiliency and the empowerment and so much that you can do to overcome, and everyone has their way of dealing with whatever they want to deal with. So I thought she captured that not only beautifully and artistically, but the true essence of what it is to overcome whatever it is, whatever trauma that may be.
Initially, we actually viewed it at my home. So I was in the comfort of my own home, in my living room, with my blanket and pillow. It was surreal. Just watching the way she put it together and constructed it, because I remember the countless hours that she spent with just the group that I was facilitating and me personally. But it helped me to go back and just follow that journey again. And these two women here, standing to my left and right, very inspiring. The work that they're doing, lobbying, and just on a national level, as well as, I mean, to watch somebody literally transform, that was on the outside. That's what I saw. But what was going on the inside was amazing. So, wonderful.
I really didn't know what to expect until I saw the film. I wasn't sure what to think of it. It was a lot of processing. Again, it was a lot of overwhelming emotions when you see yourself on a big film, and then you get to see yourself feeling emotions, and you're like, whoa, I don't want to feel all that. I don't want to see all that. So definitely helped process a lot of things that I had been going through, but it showed me that I was pretty resilient. I got to see a bigger picture at the very end.
We have time for one last question. Yes, right there. So maybe, yeah, you guys go ahead.
Again, my family came from Germany, from North Carolina, a good friend from San Antonio, the reason why I came to Grace After Fire in the first place. Shout out, Christine. And then my family from San Antonio, my sister and my niece. To go through this journey and to realize that dialogue was absolutely necessary to have, not only with my family, but to basically break the chains. It is time to accept my truth, and that's the only way, once again, as I said in the film, that I will be able to progress. So that's where I'm at.
I have a quick answer to that question. I think what we've seen in the last week, it just shows us again how important it is to tell women's stories and keep telling women's stories and tell them louder and louder and louder until people who need to hear it, hear it. And so I hope that this film will enter that space and help contribute to that conversation.
Well, thank you so very much for coming, for participating in this amazing film, for bringing it to us, and thank you all for coming.